the Static Podcast. I'm your host, Eric, and this is Randy.
Hello.
Today is another podcast day. We got tech news and tech topics to talk about.
Tech topics, dude. I like the alliteration you pulled out there, man.
All
I
the
like
alliteration,
Good
dude.
energy, dude. Good energy.
Dude, I got all the energy. Can I just say? Right now,
all of it.
I bring it out on the podcast. Dude, you should have saw me. I turned it on like a light switch, dude.
He did. Like he
I
was so,
like
melodramatic. Like, oh,
I
man.
was.
And then immediately he heard that theme song.
Energy
It's like a different
matters,
person,
man.
dude.
Energy
That vibe,
matters.
That vibe, baby.
It's all about vibe, dude. It's
It
all about
is.
vibe. Honestly, dude, I think people watch YouTube and podcasts and shit because people like you ever watch Linus and you're like, this guy like loves what he does.
He does
you know?
love what he does. And like, that brings up a good point. There's a lot of people who have like, not me, obviously, but there are a lot of people who have, just careers that are very mundane or like day to day.
Right.
And then you almost live vicariously through people you see on the internet because they're more
Yeah.
relatable than like an A-list celebrity. You know what I mean?
That's how I feel about it.
So
Man.
like it's, oh man, this guy's happy, and then it's kind of infectious.
Yeah, I love it, dude. High energy. Like I don't like when it's fake because you know how like some YouTube is like they're overly like you're like this guy's obviously faking it. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like the algorithm likes people that are like high energy.
High energy.
And then you
dude.
got like there's like
it
fake.
creates positivity,
It
and
does.
and like
It does.
know.
I don't know.
Like,
I
there's one
like it
thing-
when it's like out of passion, not out of like
Yeah.
I need to do this because the algorithm says I got to be
Yeah.
high energy. Like there's a little like some of the stuff my son watches, like some of these like kid YouTube channels. You're like,
Sure.
oh my god, like this guy's like getting so hyped about
excited,
Minecraft,
baby.
but he's like way too hype. You're like, this is this
is forced
something
hype.
else. Yeah, it's just gross.
I mean, I get it. Like Minecraft's cool, dude.
No, I can get legit hyped about Minecraft, but
Same.
like
Same.
no, I'm serious. I like Minecraft a lot. Like
I
in
remember,
fact, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's really quick. I remember when I was younger, and like I forget what I was doing. If I was in school or if I was working somewhere, I don't remember because honestly,
Yeah.
the only thing on my mind was getting home to play Minecraft to see how deep I can dig a hole.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
And like it wasn't just like a straight down dig. It was
Yeah.
like me and the boys were like tunneling. Like,
yeah,
like we were putting down lights, we were putting lifts, with
Right.
mine carts and stuff, dude. Like we were going deep in it,
Minecraft's like
that
a
was good time.
phenomenon,
It was
dude.
good
Like
time.
it's
Yeah.
serious. Like I'll tell you, one of the things I wanted to show you with Minecraft specifically, because I don't think you've really played with the mods.
No,
The mods
No.
changed the
you know
game.
me, man. Like you're the mod god of the two of us, right?
Yeah,
like
definitely.
I'm basically vanilla soft serve when it comes to video games.
I feel like you've missed out on so much, dude. Like mods take the game to the freaking next level. Okay,
No, that's probably true. That's probably
it's
true.
way true. Okay,
You know where I really give mods a lot of credit is extending the longevity of games. And like there are some companies out there that I feel are like anti-modification,
yeah,
but it's like all you're doing is you're extending your brand through work
Yeah.
you don't have to do, right?
right.
I mean, like look at Half-Life. Like Counter-Strike spawned from Half-Life. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, exactly.
like,
Same
why
with
wouldn't you
Dota.
want-
Same with
yeah. like
There's
why
so
wouldn't
many.
you want that community, that camaraderie around something you've created? Why would you block that out?
One of
I
the
don't know.
things that upsets me is like companies that decide they want to embrace mods, but then they want to heavily monetize it. So like it started originally probably Bethesda with because they were like, okay, we're leaning into the fact that we have mods, but we're gonna make it so you have to download the mods through the
See-
Bethesda launcher, and we're gonna make it so there's like
I've actually heard the opposite on that. I've heard that modders like what Bethesda is doing.
Well, it depends, but like there's pros and cons to it, right? Like the if you can give the mod, obviously the creators deserve some sort of like monetization to
Sure.
their content. Like if you want to make paid content that's like high quality, a cut above, you don't want to waste your time doing it, right? Like I get it, but like at the same time, I kind of liked the world we lived in to where people were making mods not for money, but because they just loved it so much. And I
Sure.
feel like the highest quality stuff came out through that.
I don't remember the exact video, but it was Some Ordinary Gamers. He put out a video on this maybe a year ago, and he went into like a whole bunch of different categories of why what Bethesda is doing is good for modders in the modder community, and he even brought out points that were outside of monetization for the mod creators.
Okay.
So it's like, oh, that's a really interesting take. You know, I didn't really think that it was that popular, but apparently it is, because again, you know, I'm speaking out of turn here because I'm not 100% sure how it works, but like Bethesda was helping modders bring their mods to consoles as well. So like they were kind of helping them with like kits to bring it over to them.
So the framework, the modding framework, I know this because I did some modding on Skyrim.
Sure.
And I uploaded my mods not just to the Nexus Mod Manager, which was like the legacy way to do mods.
I remember that. Yeah.
I also uploaded my mods to the Bethesda launcher, and the benefit was like all my mods would work on like Xbox and like PS4 and all that stuff. I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like I can get my custom weapons and stuff I made on the console. So yeah, there's like, you know, I guess benefits in that way, because you can't mod any other way with console stuff. But so like, you know, obviously I think it's a great thing they did it that way. I think they kind of overly monetized it in the beginning, but maybe it's reached kind of like a equilibrium now to where it's like actually a decent option, and probably a preferred one for mod creators, because you can get your mods on the consoles. So that's cool.
Yeah. No, I think it's a pretty neat system.
But like you said, dude, like mods extend the life of games. They basically like there's really no like reason not to love mods, if you ask me. If you're like, that's why I like PC gaming, because it's easy.
PC gamer, dude.
Like it's so, mods are so important to PC gaming for sure.
He's a PC gamer, baby.
Yeah, but yeah, Minecraft specifically, dude. There's some like, you know how I was trying to get you into Factorio.
I mean, you don't have to try it. I'm into Factorio. The problem is like our Factorio stint came at a really poor time, because like January to March is when like all of the games that usually come out in like the November to for that holiday crunch time frame. I don't know if it's because of COVID or not, but like we got like slammed with games.
Yeah,
like
no,
games,
it's true.
You know?
We got slammed all at once, and like I've been playing games like Lost Ark came out, freaking Elden Ring came out. I've been playing all these other games. Yeah, it's just like game heavy time right now. Like this year, we knew it was going to be game heavy, dude. And turns out it wasn't joking, you know.
Yeah.
But
extremely
it's a good problem to have, I guess.
It's a very good problem to have, man. You know, like as you know, I recently got pretty heavily into the new Destiny expansion that came out in February. So like, that's obviously taking up a big chunk of my time. But yeah, there was just a lot of things coming out. For those of you who still play World of Warcraft, patch 9.2 came out. You know, so like that's
wasn't
big for
there
them.
like conflict and stuff with like the story? Like I'm not to spoil it for people, but like. I heard people weren't like too vibed with
right?
it. Yeah,
like they basically retconned a whole bunch of stuff in. Like I'm a WoW lore nerd. And like that's part of the reason why I fell in love with Destiny, because like Bungie tells a really good story, man. Like Bungie tells a super good story, and like gonna go off on like a little side rant before I get into the World of Warcraft thing. But what Destiny does that I think is really cool is as you unlock things in the game, okay, it puts into your game what's called codex entries, okay?
Right.
And then one thing you can do with those codex entries is you have to like open up your inventory and then read them in the game, which you most certainly can do. But they also get unlocked on your Destiny app on your phone. Right. And then you can open them up in like an e-reader format.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So like as someone who's like really into the lore and stuff, that's super cool to me. You know what I mean? Because like if I'm like taking an extended bathroom break, I could just, you know, open my Destiny app and read some of the lore, you know, like that I just unlocked when I played the last time.
But you're saying you can see that content in the game, right?
You can as well, of course.
Okay. Because I thought that was like the criticism with that is like they're trying to tie their lore to outside the game and not give you enough in the game.
Destiny 1 did that. So like if you unlock something on Destiny 1, they basically said, you know, codex entry unlocked, visit your Destiny journal on your phone to learn more.
Right.
Well, they kind of made it like the best of both worlds, right? So like you can access it in game, obviously. But now the app is actually super cool, right? Like the app is really neat. I'm getting off on a total tangent here, but like,
well, that's our conversation so far. We're good.
Even like picking up like there's like bounties in Destiny. Like I don't know if you remember when you played Destiny briefly, but they're basically like your daily quests. You know, like do certain things, kill certain things. You know, right? And you have to go around to different vendors in the tower to pick them up. Well, with the mobile app, you can literally just log into the mobile app and then pick up all of Zavala's bounties,
Okay.
or pick up all of Lord Shax's bounties from your phone, and then when you log in the game, you have them in your quest log because you pick them
Wow.
up from your phone. There's apps like Destiny Inventory Manager. Like Bungie is such a cool company. Just like gonna break off on a tangent a little bit again. I keep saying that.
I mean, the
Their
fact they do
API
that, that's
What's that?
cool as hell. I just think it's
Yeah.
cool as hell because, like,
Yeah,
you're tying the game, like, it's something that only, like, nobody's really done before
yeah.
that I can recall. Like, that's really cool.
No, it's brand new to me, and like the story is good, man. Like the story is really good. Like if you like a really good sci-fi story, it's damn good. But so like their API is super open, right? So there's apps like Destiny Inventory Manager that has an app on iOS and iPad or iPhone and iPad. It has a website, and then the API connects to your character loadout and your inventory. So you can manage your entire, like, let's just put it in WoW terms, because I feel like that's something you're probably more familiar with. You can manage your inventory, your bank, and your character loadouts from a website in real time.
That's pretty cool.
So, like, if you wanted to, like, organize your inventory or make, like, a PvE loadout and a PvP loadout, you can make those separately on a web browser from any device. And then if you and do there's even an equip button on the website that will update your character in game in real time. So like if you
Wow.
wanted to like make your loadouts differently, you can like have your Destiny Inventory Manager webpage open on like your iPad and change your in-game gear in real time.
That's
I
crazy.
think that's pretty cool. I
I mean, that's
neat.
super cool.
Yeah.
I love it.
And like Bungie is full behind it. Like if you open up your vault, there's like a little like mobile icon, and if you hover over it, it recommends Destiny Inventory Manager and gives a shout out to the person who made it.
No way.
That's cool as hell.
I love that.
And Destiny is actually filing a class action lawsuit against YouTube. Or Bungie is.
Wait, for what?
I actually I should probably take that back. I'm not sure if it's class action, but they are filing a suit against Bungie.
Yeah.
Or Bungie
YouTube.
is against YouTube because third party people have been making videos of Destiny content, right?
Right.
And they're getting falsely flagged and getting DCMA takedown. So
Oh,
Bungie
yeah.
is defending all of the creators,
Dude,
saying
hell
like, yo,
yes.
all of these videos, we want these. Like, I don't know who's making these claims, but your system is fugged.
Dude,
is
thank
basically
God.
what Bungie's
Because like
saying.
YouTube's way too
Yeah.
over aggressive with
Yeah.
with all the content claiming and stuff. Automated.
and-
It's terrible.
And like if you read the actual article, they're saying like some content creators could potentially like this is the case they're making, could have lost up to $150,000 in revenue.
Wow.
And like Bungie is fighting this tooth and nail to like get these content creators, you know, what they need to get their content back.
Yeah, I think Bungie's realized, like so many others, that like the real advertising for games nowadays is going to be through the community.
Yeah, it's like guerrilla marketing, right? You know.
Yeah, I mean that's why you have so many companies investing into Twitch streamers and things like
Yeah.
that, because they know it's what sells games, man. YouTube content creators, Twitch streamers, like it sells games. And like it's funny because like I know Nintendo was the company that was like the biggest like no
Anti-consumer?
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
like the most anti, because like they would even any Nintendo videos, like any kind of gameplay videos and stuff,
Sure.
they used to flag all that stuff. It was just like real scummy, you know, like they were the
Yeah.
polar opposite of what you should be doing. I think they've kind of, since like, you know, it was really bad, I think they've kind of lightened up a little bit, but they're still pretty bad about like things they don't like, they're gonna try and take down and stuff. Like,
Yeah.
right now it's Steam Deck, any kind of Steam Deck Nintendo games being emulated on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're taking down videos related to emulating Nintendo content on the Steam Deck.
Wow.
So it's wild. It's like,
Wow.
are you kidding me? So if you have like a Mario or something
Sure.
on a Steam Deck, they'll try and take it down. So it's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Yeah, it does suck. It's just like, are you kidding me, dude? But
a shame.
whatever. So I understand that they always say that the content creator, or the owners of these IPs, like they have a responsibility to defend their intellectual property. Like they have to, by law, go after
because
violations of that. So
well, I think when you're a publicly traded company, you always have to do what's in the best interest of your stakeholders, not what's in the best interest of you. Right. So like, my friend Paul was like, we were talking about stocks, and he's like, some podcast you watch says like if you think Elon is rich now, wait till you see what happens when SpaceX goes public. And I said, dude, I don't think he'll take SpaceX public because it'll prevent him from doing things he wants to do. Because then he has a fiduciary responsibility legally to do whatever it could be to increase the capital worth of the company. You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
So he will lose all of that flexibility and freedom to do what he wants to do with SpaceX if he takes SpaceX public.
And that's one of the things, like the whole Mars mission stuff he wants to do. There's no way that like a publicly traded company could do that because that's just a big money sink. It doesn't make there's no money in it. Not in the like even in the long term. Like maybe in the long term, like we could talk about Mars, but like even in the long term, like Mars isn't going to be anything like close to what we can. Like there's no, unless they can find some kind of like, but there's no way. There's like Mars. I can't think of a single way right now that Mars could make make money. Yeah. Like I can't think of a single way. Yeah. So
I mean, even the R&D to get there would just be a money sink that like any of us would be like, yep, nope, we're not there yet.
Now I think SpaceX is gonna make plenty of money. They don't need to go public, right? Like
I agree with you.
They're doing so many. They're doing so much right now. I don't know if Starlink's good, but like I've heard a lot of issues with it and stuff. So I think it's still growing.
Well, the issues that I've heard with Starlink, and maybe you've heard some other ones, are just inherent issues of satellite internet, right? I mean, I don't know. Different.
So maybe that's the case, but like I know that like there's a lot of YouTubers that I've seen recently. I haven't really delved into the videos, so I can't really comment too much. Sure. But like they'll be like, I had Starlink for a year and I'm getting rid of it, or they'd say stuff like that, and I'm just like, well, why? Like Starlink seems like a solid solution for a lot of people.
Well, the problem with the solution Starlink is set out to do is to bring internet to places that cannot have traditional internet.
Right.
It's not designed to replace traditional internet. It's to broadon.
Yeah, and I think it's succeeding.
So
like, that sounds
the problem
like
with satellite internet, and like I'm pretty familiar with it because I used to be a network engineer like, in a previous job, like full time just network engineer.
Right.
And like some of our businesses in the northern tier of Pennsylvania, where like were like they're in the middle of nowhere, they would have to have a satellite provider called HughesNet, and the problem with that is round trip time is atrocious, right?
Yeah.
So like
sense.
if you get even if you have like 200 down, 100 up, which is totally feasible. Your round trip time, like your latency is like 200, 300 ms because it's going out to a fucking satellite. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, and that's with a traditional solution that has like, what is it, geosynchronous satellites where they're in a fixed location.
Correct. Yep.
And like Starlink isn't like that.
No,
so it's constant. The infrastructure is constantly changing as the satellites move throughout the atmosphere. So you're constantly taking different routes and paths. And so your latency, your round trip time is not even going to be consistent either.
No, it will not be consistent.
So
right.
But I heard the speeds are good, and the locations that you can get Starlink are pretty good. Yeah.
Yeah. But that's not what I mean, right? Yeah. Like it's like one of those things where it's like for what Starlink is designed to do, I don't think it has many issues. I think that it has issues when people try to use it for something it's not designed to do.
Well, I think that as far as round trip time, the only thing that's really going to be, I mean, there's going to be a couple things. Like if you're in a video call or whatever, like there's going to be that latency that's going to be added. Well, the biggest one is gaming because it's basically, gaming is all about ping, right?
I mean, realistically, any form of transmission that uses UDP is out.
Yeah, because like UDP is only really used for those low latency applications.
Yep. Yeah.
So I think that holds true. So yeah, and especially yeah. You're basically right. Games are for the most part basically are UDP exclusive. There's a couple instances where that's not the case, but like we're talking about like real time gaming, not like like if you're playing like a Civilization game or some
turn-based
shit,
game, but
turn-based game.
If you're playing like Counter-Strike Global Offensive, you're
not going to play it on Starlink, right? Like.
Yeah.
I think that for most people, they'll be happy that they can at least get their Netflix and chill on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like out and about in the mountains.
Even like downloading like a single player games, like you said, Netflix will be fine. All of that stuff will be fine.
It covers like a lot of what you would want out of the internet, like Starlink does. So yeah, I think that Starlink's still going to be like a big investment for SpaceX. I think that's going to make them a lot of money
I think so
over
too.
the long haul.
Oh, for sure.
They're the
For
only
sure.
ones really doing it like this, I think. There might be other satellite kind of like global satellite providers that are trying to come up, but like I don't think that any of them have like the grunt that SpaceX does.
No.
So
Also, SpaceX just has that like clout, right? Like
Yeah.
everyone wants to be in what Elon's doing. You know?
oh yeah, dude. Yeah, Elon's Elon. Let's
Yeah.
just say there's only one Elon, for better or for worse.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes I'm not sure what side that's
Yeah, I don't know, man. Elon's kind of annoying sometimes. Like on Twitter,
Yeah.
I'm just like, you're kind of annoying on Twitter, man. Like, I don't know.
on. Yeah.
I think it's just because he talks a lot of shit. You
Yeah.
know? I'm just like,
you know, for as much as I like Elon, like I'm obviously an
Yeah.
Elon fan,
yeah.
and
of
like
course.
I obviously agree with you about his annoyingness on Twitter. I also respect it because he's like a high profile dude, maybe the highest profile dude who just doesn't care. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
I know.
Like he just truly doesn't care.
He really doesn't. You could tell. He's just like, I'll say whatever the fuck I want, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Like I said.
wild because like I'm sure that he's gotten in trouble with like other Tesla like execs and stuff. Like, what the hell are you doing, dude? You're
Oh,
hurting our
constantly,
fucking
dude. He
image.
got in trouble a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
He got in trouble big time when he tweeted about making Tesla private if it hits 420.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean that was a big deal because
FCC coming down on
Yeah.
hard on you, dude. I'm sure his board of directors were pleased.
yeah,
You know,
yeah, it's wild they says shit like that. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
what are you doing? But like, I guess he just
Yeah.
has like buku money. He don't give a fuck.
no, dude.
He's like, dude, I don't
he
know.
literally has fu money, like
Yeah.
by definition.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for
so-
sure. So I mean,
Yeah,
hey,
he
whatever.
doesn't care.
As long as I get my Cybertruck, he can say whatever
He
the
doesn't
fuck
care.
he wants.
He doesn't care.
Give me that Cybertruck, bitch.
There you go, dude.
Anyway, let's talk about a topic, dude. We got a couple on the list. I want to hit it. I know we were
Yeah.
just chatting. So, I got one for you, dude. So,
All
how's your fold doing? Nun? How's,
I don't have it. So
what the fuck,
I wouldn't
dude?
know, dude.
Dude, every podcast,
I feel like every podcast has new devices,
podcast.
right, dude?
Not yeah, dude. And like, you know what's funny? I remember when we were laughing. Do you remember this, dude? I remember us saying this specifically, like, oh man, this year I changed phones too much, dude. I'm never doing this again.
Sure.
And like, here we are, dude, doing this again. Doing it again. You've had the Fold 3 twice. You've had the iPhone. What the fuck are we on? 11 Pro Max?
13 Pro
13,
Max,
dude. I don't even
We're
know
on
what
the
iPhone
13,
we're
dude.
on, dude.
You're on
13
the
Pro
13.
Max. And you got that like twice now. So like what
Yeah.
okay, tell me, man. What have you learned over the course of 4 phones?
Just stick with Apple products.
Is
That's what
it-
I've learned. That's what I've learned, dude.
You've learned it, but like how long is it gonna take before you unlearn that? Not that long, man. Not that long, dude. We
I
knew
don't know,
this
man.
before. We said this before,
We've
man.
said this before. I just have to stick with it, dude. I have to commit to an ecosystem, dude.
It's hard because there's
So
so
hard.
much cool shit. Like, I get it. We're hype, dude. We like tech products. We're like,
Yeah.
dude, this new shit came out. It's fucking
I need
cool.
the new shit,
Oh
dude.
my God, it looks cool as shit, dude. I'm going to go check it out. It sucks because we're not like tech reviewers, dude. We don't get to send this shit. We got to
No,
pay out of
dude.
pocket.
Yeah.
And like, you know, you're able to do it in such a way where like normally you can sell the product and like, you know, get like a good return, or maybe you return it before it's too late, or like whatever. So I get it. Like the HP laptop, we haven't even got to that yet, but like spoiler alert, you swapped that
Wow,
out, dude.
Wow.
You swapped the HP laptop out. You were just last podcast, and I run it back, dude. You were
Run it back.
saying
Watch
like,
it
dude,
again.
check this HP, dude. Middle
It's real
finger
nice.
to anything else. The HP's
I
the
don't know if
best.
I said middle finger. Maybe I did.
Nah,
Maybe that
you
was
didn't
me,
say
dude.
that. I was just joking. I'm putting words in
Maybe
your
that
mouth,
was
dude.
me, dude.
But like you were saying,
I
like
was
you were hyping
hyped,
it
dude.
up. No, and I get it. It was a cool device, right? Like honestly, truly, Windows like laptop.
Uh-oh.
No,
Uh-oh.
no, what happened, dude? Your battery shut off, dude.
Give me a sec.
You got a battery? You gonna like hot swap that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, hot swap that. He's gonna like quick change magazines out.
All right, dude. We're back, dude.
Boom.
Look at how easy that
It
was,
returns.
dude. Like a NASCAR pit stop, dude.
Yeah, yeah, nice, dude. Quick swap, dude. Let's
Quick
go.
in and out, dude.
This is why I told you need the dummy battery, man.
The dummy boy, dude.
It's so good. Dummy battery's clutch.
You
Tell
bet
you.
dummy.
Yeah. Anyway, so
Ain't no
check it out.
dummy.
What you were saying, you learned the moral of the story. 4 phones later, iPhone, stick with Apple. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So, listen, man. What's gonna happen when the Fold 4 comes?
You're
Tell
going to
me.
be a good friend and remind me of the continuity
Oh,
I'm going to
no.
lose with
Oh,
my
no,
newly
dude.
procured MacBook
I don't
and
think I
newly
can
procured
do it.
iPad Mini.
Like, here's the problem. I'm on the Fold still, man. And you know
Yep.
what's wild?
No.
I have just like you, man. I got that Apple Draw. Like, I need an iPhone, like, so
Need it,
bad.
dude. Need-
Like, I really
need.
do.
You hear that, dude? Need.
I
Starts with an
really
N.
do.
4-letter word starts with an N.
Think about it. I love my AirTags. I can't use those. Like, with
Samsung has tags. I'm sure they work great.
like, oh, no, fuck that. Fuck that.
What do you mean?
I already bought my AirTags. And plus, like, think about it. The fucking Apple ecosystem, like the all the iPhones out there are what make the freaking AirTags so good. Like, they're always going to be found. iPhones are everywhere.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
I know that Samsung phones they're everywhere too, but like not like the iPhones.
No.
And even then, I like the AirTags. They're just cool. So like, and I already have them. Like, I don't want to buy more tags, you know?
No, I get it.
Think about this, dude. You see the new LTT store backpack?
No.
Well, you know, Linus did a big thing on his podcast, how they're making this huge investment in their new backpacks that they're going to be selling soon, blah, blah, blah. He was talking about it on his podcast. And one of the things he said is the backpack has like an AirTag spot. It doesn't have no Samsung tag spot. It's got an AirTag spot.
The dude doesn't even use an iPhone.
Yeah, he does.
No, he
he
doesn't.
rocked dual phones for a while. I don't know if he does anymore, but
I don't know why you would carry two phones, dude.
well, it used to be that he could. I don't know if it was like Teams or like some other kind of thing he used for work. Like, it was better on one phone over the other, and vice versa
but, like,
for other stuff. You know,
I don't know.
I don't know
man.
either. But like,
Thanks.
I'm somebody that wants to rock two phones right now. I'm thinking about getting the Mini because I need like a couple things. I love AirPlay, and I have like
Loves AirPlay.
my
dude.
house is so tied into
Loves
AirPlay
it.
usage. It really
So-
is. Like,
Yeah,
I
but,
can't.
don't you have to do like a whole bunch of like wonky stuff to get stuff to work with AirPlay?
I mean, it just fucking works, dude. Like,
No, I mean like there's so many devices that are not AirPlay compatible. Like your Ubiquiti cameras.
yeah, but I don't really care about AirPlaying those, right? Like, what are you
Well,
talking about?
HomeKit. Sorry, HomeKit.
Okay, HomeKit. Well, I have my Ubiquiti cameras working with HomeKit.
Yeah, but like you have to do like some jank stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I do. So I have to
Yeah.
use what do you call it? HomeLink is the yeah, it's like a piece of software I run on like my NAS or something.
Yeah, see,
And or maybe it's a VM, I don't know, but it's just like it's just a VM I got running that just runs that HomeKit HomeBridge is what it is. And it allows me to link up things that aren't normally HomeKit compatible. So yeah, but like HomeKit's part of it, AirPlay's part of it. There's a lot of things like Apple TV remote, like on the phone.
Apple TV remote is busted. AirPlay is busted.
Yeah, it's like, think about this, man. Like, if I gotta type in a password on a TV, dude, how shitty is it to use a remote?
It's miserable. It's miserable.
It's the it's the shittiest thing ever. But
Yeah, it's
like, guess
super
what?
miserable.
With my freaking iPhone, I can use Bitwarden to autofill
Autofill on your
my
yeah.
fucking TV.
You know what else is really busted too? That I didn't even realize it, dude. But you brought up a good point. Using HomePods as like default audio on Apple TV.
Oh man, that is really cool.
Like,
So, are you
that's
using
how I
that
have
anymore?
my bedroom set up.
Oh, that's cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. You know, speaking of, listen, this is another thing. So I have speakers in my ceiling in a couple rooms in my house, right? So one of those
I
rooms
know
is
where
my
you're going with this.
bedroom, and I have my Apple TV in my bedroom. So like, dude, I just fucking play my like audio, my TV audio through my overhead speakers in my room.
I was gonna
Sounds
say
awesome.
it's weird. It's weird. I don't know if it's weird or not weird, but like I remember you had like that really obscure like bathroom problem.
Yeah.
That sounds like you had problems like this shit, but like I mean like that like playing music in the bathroom or something.
Yeah, I have speakers in my bathroom
Yeah.
too, and they're hooked
and,
up
like,
to the same
and, like,
AirPlay
this
receiver.
is when I was like in like pro fold mentality. I was like, dude, I'll find it. I'll find a solution that'll work for you.
There
couldn't find
wasn't.
anything, dude.
There
I
wasn't,
couldn't
man.
find anything that would work as seamlessly as
Not
AirPlay
the
would
same.
there.
Not the
No.
same. No,
No,
it's
close,
really
but
like
not the same.
well, like you were talking about, like I could set up like a what is it, rune? What was it,
Yeah.
rune? Like I could set up a rune thing where I can like control my rune, but that's not everything, right? Like I can't
It'd
just
be
have
music.
a YouTube video up
No, it'd just be
and then
music.
throw
yeah.
my phone's like YouTube video audio to the speaker. Like that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
And so like
Yeah, because this dude needs to consume content while washing his balls.
that's
dude.
what I do. So like, dude, like
That's
no,
what I
I'm
do.
literally, dude, I'm telling you, it's like luxurious, man. I got a big ass bathtub with a jacuzzi in it, dude. I'm chilling in it. I'm unfolded, dude.
Wait.
Like,
So you don't have a jacuzzi tub. You have a bathtub with a jacuzzi inside of the bathtub.
You know what I'm saying, dude? It's got the jets, dude. That's
It's
all
got
I'm
the
saying.
jets, dude.
It's got the jets.
The
And so I'm
Jetson
sitting
over
in
here, dude.
there.
George
I'm like,
Jetson
I got
over
my
here.
bath salts and shit. I'm like chilling. I got my fold. I'm playing a YouTube video, and it's shitty because I can't fucking AirPlay it to my speakers, and I'm so sad. So I
You
have
know
a
that
Bluetooth
sounds like
speaker.
the perfect scenario for an iPad Mini.
Oh man, but you know what? It isn't. You know why?
Because you're folding.
Because the iPad Mini isn't water resistant.
True.
My
True.
fold is.
True.
That's the problem.
That's,
So like,
that's a good point.
Like,
That's
why
a good
the
point.
fuck isn't the iPad's water resistant, dude? It's barely anything. Like the fold moves and it's water resistant.
I
Why-
thought about that the other day because like Samsung's tablets aren't waterproof either. I'm like,
Yeah.
man, like the complexity they go through for like other devices, like tablets seem really easy for them to waterproof.
Part of it, you know, might be they're just cheaper, dude. Like think
Yeah.
about how cheap that. Like we were talking about this the other day. I was like, I could get an iPad Mini for like what, like 400 and something.
Yeah, but like even the pros aren't waterproof.
Yeah, I know. Which is
Like no
and
tablets
they're
waterproof.
pricey. Yeah, I don't know, but like they invest the money in other things like their micro LED displays and like
Yeah.
you know promotion and like you know like they probably put a lot of money in R&D for that stuff. They don't really feel like water resistance is like important,
Right.
and I get it, but like how am I supposed to be chilling in my bathtub with my iPad? You can't
Yeah.
do it.
True.
So you know I
mean,
get it, but like
bathtub
people think
iPad.
it's weird anyway. I was with a coworker
Right.
at work.
Right. Tim Apple.
You know, yeah, I probably should, dude. Yeah, because like I had a coworker at work. She was like, you know, my phone's got some shit on it. She went to one of those like, it was like one of those little festival things where they throw like the colored powder at everybody, and she got like,
I would never get on this.
you know
dude.
what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, dude. Someone throws powder at me, I'm pissed.
Yeah. So she got like her phone all like powdered up, and she's like, "What do I do?" And I'm like, "Dude, just put it under your sink, dude." She's like,
Yeah.
"What?" I'm like, "Dude, it's fucking water resistant, dude. It's 2022. You got a new iPhone. Like, it's fine.
Yeah.
Throw it under the sink." She's like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm in the fucking. I used to when I had an iPhone, I take it in the shower with me all the time." She's
Yeah.
like, "Why would you bring that in the shower?" She's like looking at me like, "What are you doing in the
Yeah.
shower, bro, with your phone?" I'm like, "Dude."
Yeah,
It ain't like
dude.
that, dude. I'm just throwing up a video, like a YouTube
Yeah.
video, and like
What
a
are you
music
doing in
video.
the
or some
shower,
shit.
dude, with your bath salts and your jacuzzi jets, dude?
Yeah, my AirPlay speakers,
Yeah.
dude. What am I doing? Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here, dude. Anyway,
Dude, wait, were you angling them
no,
jets, dude?
no,
Were
dude.
you angling them jets?
You don't want to know.
Oh,
Anyway,
yeah.
no, it's funny. But my point is, dude, I don't even know what it is. But the iPhones are good with water resistance. So I'm getting it. I was like, dude, just put
Yeah.
so I ran some water on, ran on some water and you're good. But I was like, don't even worry about it. Anyway, so you're back
That's
on the
funny,
iPhone,
dude.
man. So
I
how
am
does
back
it
on the
feel?
iPhone.
Tell me. Is it like home?
It feels like home, but it's also boring. That makes sense.
Yeah. But like
Like-
which phone did you get? Did you get the Max or the
I got the
normal?
13 Pro Max in the Alpine green, the new green color.
Can you show that?
Yeah.
Is it cased up though?
No.
No, okay. I just kind of want to see that sucker, dude. Look at that green. You know, on this camera, okay, in certain angles you can see the green real good. But it reminds me of another color we had, doesn't it? Gosh, it's so familiar.
It's actually like super green.
Yeah.
It's a nice green.
Yeah, I like how you have the green kind of wallpaper with it, like the
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. It's clean. It's clean, man. The iPhone's
So-
clean.
So
Very
yeah,
nice.
so like, do I miss the fold? Of course I miss the fold. The fold is awesome.
You
but
say you
like-
sold it, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
But I also realized that like, I don't know, the continuity of iPhone is really where it's at. You know what I mean? Like
I get
spoiler
it.
alert, I got a MacBook again.
Right.
You know?
We were
and just
getting
having
into
like
that.
that. What's up?
We're getting into that,
I
so
know,
might as
I
well
know.
now.
But like just having like that continuity of iCloud for files because I use iCloud for files. Like that's really cool to me. Like a really important feature for me is like I do a lot of photography. It's like a hobby. I enjoy taking pictures. I enjoy taking video. When I had like not Apple products, right? Because I would edit all of my stuff on my laptop just because APL on the
of course
on the CX48.
Yeah.
But like I wanted to share a picture like really quick that I took and edited with like a text message. It's always a hassle. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I got to go out to my NAS and grab it. Whereas literally, if I edit it on the Mac, I could just text it right from my Mac, or it's already on my phone. You know what I mean? Like it's like it makes it so I don't have to think or like intervene with things. And like this kind of goes down into a discussion I had with a few of my other friends because I recently converted a longtime Apple user to an iPhone, and he loves
an Apple user to an iPhone.
I mean a longtime Android user to an iPhone.
Yeah.
And like this is someone who is smart. And when I say someone who's smart, I mean this is someone who buys a phone once every 4 years if they can help it. Like they're really into like that long term, just like I need a phone that's gonna last. And like he's just fed up of never getting that on Android. I'm like, dude, like you should really get an iPhone. It's like, I don't know, dude, Apple products, dude. Like, what are you doing, Apple sheep, dude? Like, dude, you think I want to be hurted, dude?
Wow.
Trying to put a crook around my neck, dude.
Yeah,
but then like he broke down and he got a 13 Pro in Sierra Blue.
Yeah.
And he's got that since October. And literally almost every month he's like, dude, this phone is insane. Like this phone is exactly what I wanted from a phone. This is fantastic. There's no like phantom battery drain where like one day his phone lasts 13 hours and then the next day it lasts 3. There's no,
it's just solid.
Like there's no like camera issues. There's nothing, it just works 100% of the time. It's solid build quality. And then I said, you know what, dude, like 3 years from now, 4 years from now, you're going to have that same experience,
Yeah.
And like I can safely say that because I just replaced my mother's phone and she had an iPhone 10. But honestly,
nice. Classic.
honestly, dude, if I put like black tape around the borders of that phone and turned off ProMotion on my 13,
right,
you would be hard pressed to tell which phone was what. And like you may have said like, oh man, that kind of sucks. Like what's Apple doing? You know what I mean? But like that's kind of cool. That
it's super cool.
You could get the same experience and not. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
The 10 was like I got the 10 when it came out. And it was like I probably could still be rocking it today.
Yeah.
And like
I mean, like cameras have obviously drastically improved, right? But like if you're on the home screen and just like going to like Safari or text messaging, you wouldn't really notice the difference.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Force touch, I think.
yeah. R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P.
But no, I I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, and like anyway, the discussion we got is another one of our friends who's also like, oh, did you suck Apple's dick, is trying to get a new phone, and he's like, what do you think about the Pixel? And I said, oh well, the Pixel's a solid phone. Like I think the Pixel 6 Pro is a really solid phone, but the only issues I see are people complain that the under display fingerprint reader is kind of awful. And he's like, what do you mean? And then my friend John Thomas, who loves Google, right? Like he loves Google like we love Apple. So like he's only ever had Nexus phones and he's only ever had Pixels. And he said, oh yeah, it's pretty bad. And then I said, that's like one thing, like for someone who's like really interested in like security and cybersecurity specifically, I could really appreciate Face ID because JT has gone on to say that, he's even turned off his fingerprint reader on his Pixel because it just doesn't work half the time. And I said, that's one thing I really applaud Apple for is Face ID because it creates an extremely secure layer of authenticity without the end user even realizing they're being authenticated. And when you remove that barrier of interaction, that like extra step, right? That extra step of entering your PIN or entering your pattern or pressing your thumb on the screen, and it just happens naturally, like Face ID does, then more people are prone to use it and more people are prone to be secure. You know what I mean? So like, like Face ID, in my opinion, is like world changing because it encourages people to use secure multi-factor authentication that doesn't really like make people even realize they're doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree. That's the best kind of security. Where it's just like you don't have to worry about like an extra step. It's just like as easy as picking up your phone and using it. Like that's how easy Face ID is. And like, you know, I honestly like, you know, I use the fingerprint reader on the Fold, and like it has Face Unlock, but I hate it. You know, it's just it's bad.
awful on Android
bad.
phones. Like the person whom I sold it to, he goes, "Oh, this has Face Unlock." My Z Fold 3. I'm like, honestly, don't use it. Like just pretend it doesn't have it.
I don't, basically.
You know
like
what I
I
mean?
use the
Yeah.
even I use the you know, the fingerprint scanner. or
Oh,
whatever.
oh yeah, the fingerprint reader works great on the Z Fold 3, but it's still authentication you have to consciously do, right? Like you're
It's
not
true.
already doing it.
And-
Whereas
well,
with Face ID,
Yeah, I was gonna say even Face ID is more reliable. Like like it hits more often. Like Face ID was just more solid. Like I can still trick up the fingerprint sensor all the time. I probably could go in there and like learn my finger and maybe get some better, but like I still got to kind of like land on it just right. It's
So-
kind of annoying.
do you want a tip?
Sure.
Register multiple fingerprints, but use the same finger.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I mean,
Like-
I've done that, but like,
Okay.
what's your point?
Well, like that would increase the accuracy. That's what I did on my Fold. Was
Okay,
was
yeah, yeah.
was I registered my
Oh,
my thumb twice, and I
But
registered
you
my
use the
index
same
finger
finger
twice.
for each
But
one.
I use the same
I was
finger,
like, what are
yeah.
you talking about?
Yeah,
No, that
so
makes
like,
total sense. Yeah.
yeah, so like I registered my thumb twice, and I registered my index finger twice.
Oh, that makes sense, dude.
Mhm.
Okay. Genius.
And
Yeah, I'll
then
try
like the
that.
accuracy is like 100% when you do that. It's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay,
Big-
yeah.
Big brain, dude.
That is big brain. I never thought of
Yeah.
that. Awesome. Anyway, dude, so real quick, I want to talk about phones. Obviously, you love the iPhone, and I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the MacBook. So,
Sure.
you know,
Sure.
the thing about the MacBook Pro, you bought the MacBook Pro 14-inch with the M1 Pro. I have the similar laptop, but I have the M1 Max in mine.
And you have 64 gigs. I opted for 16.
Okay. Okay, of memory?
Mhm.
Oh, wow, you went with the 16. Okay.
Yeah, I think I told you that.
Yeah, maybe, but I should
Yeah.
remember. That's wild.
Yeah.
Okay, so like, you know, obviously, you know, very similar laptops, but you know, yours is a little bit down spec'd. What
Yep.
do you think, man? Because like you went from the HP Spectre,
Yeah.
and like, what was your thought process? Obviously, I was there during the decision making a little bit.
You were.
I was like, let me guess, you're freaking out getting the MacBook right now.
Dude,
I
it's
was
hilarious.
fucking spot
You
on.
knew, dude. You
I
knew.
knew, dude. I was
You
like,
knew.
where'd he go, dude? He just ghosted me. Where is he?
Well, it's kind of a long, drawn out story that I could probably try to make.
Summarize, man.
Condensed,
Because
right?
we don't
Yeah.
got so much podcast to get through.
Yeah. So essentially, I love MacBooks, right? Like I just love MacBooks.
Done.
I mean, like I could summarize it up right there, and then we
Yeah.
could just move on to the next topic.
No, it's okay.
But
like,
realistically speaking, you know, I wanted to try something different.
yeah.
And like to me, the thought of having a Windows laptop was cool. And the reason why I thought it was cool was because I was using an Android phone at the time, and you know that Android is kind of trying to work with Microsoft to bring that continuity,
Yeah.
at least in some form, like Apple has. And it's just not there yet. But
It's
but,
not.
but that doesn't matter. You know, like that's not a big deal. You know what I mean? That's not something that's like, oh man, you know, I need to get this Windows laptop for Samsung continuity. No,
Yeah.
that's not it at all. It's just I haven't had like a decent Windows laptop or an Ultrabook in a long time. You know, yeah, and you're probably the same way. You know, like
Yeah.
outside of our work laptops, we haven't really had like a personal machine that was Windows based.
No.
So for me, it was almost like a novelty, right? So this journey started off with the S8 Ultra because I love tablets. You know, I've been a pro tablet user since the first episode of Technostatic. That has never
Yeah.
changed.
Right.
So I was thinking, oh, you know, this S8 Ultra is pretty cool. Like maybe I could ditch the laptop and then use software like, you know, Parsec or AnyDesk or Moonlight and just remote into my desktop when I needed something a little bit more powerful, but then have all the benefits of a tablet when I'm on the go. You know, the small form factor, the insane battery life, no fans, the nice screen.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all the things a tablet is good at. So then I started using the S8 Ultra, which I still love and recommend. You know, if you're in the Android camp and you want to stay in the Android camp, I think the S8 Ultra is the first true iPad competitor we've had on the Android side for a long time.
Okay.
But I kept trying to make it into a laptop. Okay. So I was kind of going through the motions and I'm like, well, wait a minute, you know, I'm trying to make this tablet no longer a tablet and make it more of a laptop. So why don't I just get a laptop?
Yeah. Basically.
So,
basically.
so that's kind of where I ended up with the HP Spectre because I wanted something that this is going to sound terrible, but I knew the slippery slope if I got the MacBook.
Oh, okay.
You know what
So
I mean?
you were like,
I
I
was
don't
conscious
want to
of
have
that.
to do like this whole transition thing again. As soon as I get the MacBook, I'm gonna want the iPad. I'm gonna want the fucking
it's not that I
iPhone.
didn't want to do the whole transition thing again. It's that I knew if I got the MacBook, I would do the transition
Yeah.
thing again.
Yeah,
Um,
I figured.
which ultimately
But I was
ended up
trying to
happening.
teach
Spoiler
you.
alert.
Look, man, I was trying to tell you. I was like, you don't need the iPhone. You don't like me right now, right? Like I got the Fold. I got a fucking MacBook. Like it's possible. You know what I'm saying? It's possible.
Yeah, but like the problem is too is like you also have an iPhone in house, right?
Okay, so yeah, I do have an iPad here, and I do use that. And Amanda's got an
Yeah.
iPhone, right?
Yeah. So like let's say that one of my HomePods needed to be reset up.
Yeah.
What do I do?
I don't know, man.
Exactly.
Well,
Exactly.
that's why I was hoping you would keep something around, like
Yeah.
your iPad or something, right?
Yeah.
But you didn't. So
So I got the HP Spectre,
Mhm.
which is a really awesome laptop. Again, you know, gets my stamp, gets my seal of approval, has great build quality, keyboard feels great. Trackpad's not too bad for a Windows laptop. Battery life is not too bad.
yeah,
Screen is gorgeous. 3:2 aspect ratio, OLED. Really nice machine. Touchscreen, which I do still like the touchscreen a lot. I do. And you are kind of right, by the way.
yeah,
My first 2 or 3 days with the MacBook, I found myself like trying to touch the screen again. And now after I've used it and like I've reacclimated myself with just
The
the Mac
trackpad?
OS trackpad
Yeah.
and the Mac OS gestures, I don't miss the touchscreen anymore.
right.
But it's still nice to have, especially on a Windows laptop where the gestures aren't that solid.
Right.
You know, like one thing that they introduced in Windows 11 better than Windows 10 is like the ability to have like multiple desktops, which is huge on Mac OS, right?
Yeah,
Like that's a
definitely.
feature I use constantly just because it's so
Agreed.
seamless and it works so well.
Yep.
Like the way Mac OS does multi-desktop, it almost makes it so I would never need dual monitors for anything. You know what I mean? Because it's so easy to swipe between displays.
That's why
It's
I like it
almost as
so
quick-
much for a
Yeah,
laptop.
dude.
Because
It's like yeah, it's perfect for a laptop
Yeah.
because like it's so seamless that just the 4-finger swipe is literally like the same thing as me just like moving my head.
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'll tell you right now that Windows 11 has that gesture. It doesn't work
Really?
at all. I mean it
Dang.
works, but it's super not reliable, right? To the point where I just broke down and did like the Windows key control arrow.
Yeah, I get it.
To switch them because the gesture was just not consistent.
Yeah.
You know, and like I don't know if that's a problem with Windows or a problem of just like the like trackpads on Windows are just ass, but the experience of multi-desktop was just not good, you know.
I get that.
And
get
the
that,
other
yeah.
issue I had with the Spectre was the fans were loud. You know what I mean? And like even doing like small tasks, like the fan would kick on. Not loud, but like I could hear it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like if I did anything intensive at all, the fans would just be worry boys, you know?
That's wild.
And like the laptop was hot, dude. Like it would get hot, you know?
Yeah, and I mean that's just what happens, dude. Like you have this thin and light, and then
Yeah.
it's powerful. What do you think's gonna happen? Like it's
Yeah.
just and it's powerful. Like with what was it? Like 11th gen Intel,
Yeah.
which was like already kind of hot. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So yeah, it's just what it is.
So-
Like that was before they went big little and everything.
So then I have this like worry boy on my desk, which is like fans are on. Like if I was at work and I connected it via Thunderbolt to my LG Ultra Wide, which is also Thunderbolt, so it was one cable, which is kind of nice.
nice.
Like the fans would just be on low because it was driving an external display. Like not super loud, but like they'd be on low, you know.
Right.
And then like if I moved or picked up my laptop, it would be hot, and like the desk would be hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then like I did like just like a benchmark test, and this was where the real downfall started, right?
Yeah. You
Is
had me
like-
send you stuff too.
Yeah, it's like I ran a benchmark, and I think my single core was like 1300, and multi core was like 42 or like 41 or something like that. Anyway, I was
Right.
like, so wait a minute. So the MacBook Pro will be an operating system I prefer. It'll be quiet. The battery will last longer.
Yeah.
It will have a better display, and it's literally 3 times as fast just on the CPU side.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And then,
basically it.
And then it gets really hard for, you know, someone who doesn't get devices for free, who has to buy them, to justify owning anything other than a MacBook. It gets really hard to justify it. You know what I mean? Like
In my eye, if you're gonna get a Windows laptop, it has to have dedicated graphics. That's the only advantage that Windows has. Like,
here's the other problem, and I'm glad you brought that up, because the HP Spectre had Tiger Lake U, like the latest Intel U version processor, which is like their lowest processor, like their lowest power consuming processor, I should say. Outside of the 12th gen ones that we just started seeing in laptops. I'm not even sure if we have any U spec 12th gens. I think we just have the H ones, the higher spec ones. I think at the time of us recording this, there may be 1 or 2 12th gen U's out, but not at the time. Anyway, I digress. That's splitting hairs. My point is that we're using the Ultrabook spec processor, so the lower power processor with onboard Intel Xe graphics. Now, granted, the Tiger Lake U has the same 90. It was the 96 compute units Intel Xe that 12th gen has, so it's the most powerful integrated graphics that Intel offers.
Okay, yeah, I get you.
And literally, even with integrated graphics, my performance plugged in versus battery was like half.
That's wild.
So like, I booted up WoW just because like I'm not playing WoW at the time, but like WoW is kind of like a game that I played so long that like I just know how it should perform on machines. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
And plus it runs on anything as a native M1 client. You know what I mean? It could run on a toaster. You know?
Exactly.
And my frame rate was less than half unplugged on integrated graphics. I
didn't know that would happen.
Yeah, I had no idea either.
That's wild.
Like to give you an idea, dude, like I planned on just testing it out unplugged and just seeing how long the battery lasted. Like this was just purely a battery test, right? I was like, man, these frame rates are ass. Like this game is totally unplayable. Like they can't be this bad. There's no way it's this bad. And then I plugged it in and it was like playable FPS.
That's crazy.
So I was like, man, this sucks.
Was that a configuration thing? I wonder if that was like just like that's
I literally
how it is.
tried. I tried. HP comes with, or HP laptops come with like HP Command Center, which I recommend you keep on an HP laptop because it has like your fan curve adjustments and stuff, right? So it's basically just like a non-bloated version of like a way to control like your fan profiles.
Got it.
So I literally did, power options, maximum power, battery, best performance in Windows, and then I did performance mode in the HP one, and it was jank. It was jank as hell on battery. It was fine on plugged in, but again, plugged in, like the fans were 100%. The CPU was literally at 100C the entire time.
Yeah.
Which is
it's wild, man. Like
you know what I mean?
That's basically the drawbacks of any kind of Windows laptop, really. Like so, it's just the way it is.
So at the time, I kind of lucked out. Because I was still in my return period, right? So I just returned it, and then I just picked up the MacBook. I opted for the M1 Pro for a few reasons. One, I watched a ton of videos, right? Like I'm sure you watch a ton of videos too. And like, would I like the Macs? Of course I'd like the Macs. You know what I mean? The Macs is cool. But I think what's really important to me is battery life.
Yeah, I agree.
And the battery life is in some cases 35% to 40% better than on the Macs, depending on what you're doing.
Yeah.
So if you take a look at what you're doing and like you can get away with one video encoder engine and 16 GPU cores instead of 32, I would recommend the Pro all day. And for me, like there are tests under some extreme circumstances where for like the videos we edit, like the Macs would benefit from it in terms of actual editing. But the big gain that the Macs has over the Pro is in render export times.
Right.
And like that doesn't really matter to me because like I don't consistently do a lot of videos, and like if a render takes 10 minutes or 5 minutes, that doesn't matter to me. You know what I mean? Like that's irrelevant.
Yeah.
I'd rather have 40% more battery playing a game mobily than my render time cut in half.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
What I was more so like picking the M1 Pro was kind of what I was set on doing for my use cases, because I don't really do a lot of GPU intensive tasks. Now, where I would say the Max is definitely a game changer is if you do things like Blender. Big difference there. But for even like timeline editing, dude, like if you watch like some YouTube videos out there, like of people who like not like your typical reviewers, but like people who like just are like Resolve channels. and like they or like Final Cut channels, and they do like a side by side of like actual timeline editing, there's not a whole lot of difference between the Pro and the Max in terms of like, you know, playback or stuttering or anything like that. They're almost similar.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, here's the thing. The thing that's not similar is the battery life. Like that's the biggest thing. And I've told you multiple times, like I've had lots of battery issues with the M1 Max 14-inch laptop. It's just been
I mean, part
bad.
of you, I mean, I'm just gonna be honest, man. Like, if I didn't know you and I didn't talk to you, I would have gotten the Max and then been like, man, this battery sucks. But because you and I have both had M1 13s, and then you got the 14 Max, and you're like, man, the battery's bad. So like you really pushed me towards the Pro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Honestly, the Pro is the better choice between the two, just from like a usability perspective with the battery. Because like, you know, coming from the M1 MacBook Pro, I mean, that thing was a battery champ, dude.
Yeah. That's how I feel this M1 Pro is, man.
That's
like,
good. That's good.
Like,
because like it was really jarring going from like the M1 to the M1 Max and having like way less battery life. Like, and I don't even use, like, I'm not even doing a lot with my laptop, but the drain is just faster. Like I'm not, it's not like I'm processing way more. It just dies quicker. And there's nothing I can do about it. It's just the way it is. So it's just more power hungry. It's just,
well, it's kind of like I told you too, right? Like, if I still have my 13 and I put them side by side and like did like a video playback test or something intensive, like playing a game, I would probably notice it then, because I would see them side by side. I'm like, oh yeah, the 13 lasts longer. But like in a vacuum, like if you, they're close enough, man, that like if you sold your 13 M1 Pro and didn't have it next to you, and then you got a 14 M1 Pro, you would assume like, oh yeah, the battery's about similar.
Yeah, that's
so like
good,
for
man.
me, the battery is very similar. What I do notice differently though is like I fired up some games that like have Mac clients, like even ones that didn't have M1 clients, and like I'm shocked at how well this plays games. Like native res WoW runs great on the M1 Pro.
Oh yeah.
Even games like Elder Scrolls Online, that's like more graphically intensive, is like 50, 60 FPS on like good graphic settings at native res on this thing. Yeah. So like, you know what I mean? And like that's,
and like the thing is, the M1 was like not graphically weak, like for what it was. Like I was playing World of Warcraft pretty well on it. Like I wasn't maxing out my settings, but like I was able to get like a solid 60 unplugged. Yeah. And like being able to run that for like over, I don't even know how long I said on my battery benchmarks, but it was like well over an hour. It might have.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
it was like crazy, like how long I could play WoW on
like
battery.
on preset 5 on the M1 Pro. Okay, that's like good graphics. You know, like preset 5.
Yeah.
There are some areas where I get 100 FPS.
Nice.
And that's because it's capped at 100 FPS. You know what I mean? So like it's almost always over 60.
Yeah.
On the M1 Pro, and that's at native res, not scaling down or anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, I could probably play that for about maybe 2.5 hours, 3 hours unplugged.
Yeah.
So that's kind of busted, dude.
It
you know
is
what I mean?
busted. It's like I think like I get it. Like people don't buy Macs for gaming, but it's such a shame to have so much performance and not be able to play most of your games. Yeah. That's the only thing. Like I get it. People are like, don't buy a Mac for gaming. I'm not buying a Mac for gaming. I just happen to have a Mac for
and
Mac
I like
things,
gaming.
and I like gaming. I want to play those games on this hardware, dude.
Right, because it runs great. Like I said, like ESO doesn't even have a native M1 client. ESO is going through Rosetta.
Yeah.
And ESO runs so good on the M1 Pro. Like crazy good.
I know. I was playing Shadow of the Tomb Raider benchmark, and I was like, God, this is gorgeous. And that game is an HDR supported game. So like, it
blew
just
my mind
so
how nice that was. And I should probably mention too that like during my entire WoW benchmark, which I have since uninstalled because I'm not playing WoW, it's literally just to like test things out.
Yeah, I get it.
The fan never turned on once.
Yeah, isn't that wild? Like the fans which is like nutty. Even on the Max, like I barely can. I mean, I can get the fans running if I play like a game. Yeah, like I can fucking because it just will go ham. Like if it's Shadow of the Tomb Raider, it'll do it. But like
theoretically, you have double the energy
GPU
that I do. Yeah, because like even Max Tech in one of his videos said that like he could hear the fans on the 14 Max, but the 14 Pro sounds like a MacBook Air.
Yeah, that's amazing.
So like that's cool to me. You know what I mean? So like, and on top of that, I'm saving money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
no, it's a good amount of savings too. So it's honestly, it was the right choice You save money, you get more battery. You're not gonna miss that performance ever.
Yeah.
You're never gonna miss that performance.
Yeah.
So it's just it's a win-win. You know, I did what you would have done if you didn't talk to me. I bought the most expensive big boy because it was like the new hype.
Thick boy, dude.
It was the new hype.
I gotta tell you too, dude. Like still like having an M1 Pro and being totally happy with it, and knowing I wouldn't be, I would be less happy with the Max because battery is important to me. It just is. You know what I mean? Like I still take it to work with me every day, and I never plug it in. You know, like that's cool to me. That's awesome. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just that like Apple commercial with the M1 Max, dude. Every time I see it, I'm like, I should have got the Max, and that's just their marketing. You know,
that's what it is. They're gods, marketing gods. You know, I don't know. There's to this day, there's part of me that would, because I still have my 13-inch M1, and part of me is like, maybe I go back and sell this very expensive 14-inch M1 Max and get all that money and like pay off some of that debt and just be happy, because like the M1 made me happy, dude. It did. The only benefits, really, like the biggest ones, are the 14-inch screen. I prefer. It's a better screen.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, hands down, the M1 Pro is the best laptop I've ever used.
Wow.
From every single standpoint possible.
You know what I mean?
Right. Like it's literally to me, dude, it's the 13 M1 with a better screen, the same battery life, and double the power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's literally the god tier.
Yeah.
Also opted for 16 gigs RAM over 32. Still unsure if I'm going to regret that, but I don't think I am.
I don't think so, just because of how well macOS handles memory.
Max Tech, again, I keep quoting him because like his coverage is great on Max.
It's very in depth.
So there. The M1 has two things going for it, okay, and that's why 8 GB of RAM works on M1. Is the interconnect between the processor and the storage is insanely fast, and like the SSDs can like read and write 7.5 gigabytes a second.
Yeah. So if it does need to swap, like it's so fast.
Oh yeah, I mean like it'll use swap pretty regularly. Like the 16 will use swap more than the 32, but like based off of what you're doing, you'll never notice it. Like literally, like if you watch his video, he's like, all right, I have 3 AK streams opened up, I have 30 Chrome tabs open, and I have Photoshop. Let me play these videos and then switch to Photoshop, and both of them perform the exact same. The only way you would notice the difference is if you had Activity Monitor up and looked at which one was using more swap. So I'm like, so then why would you get that?
Well, I'll say that one of the big problems is like people, I know early on that was the controversy with like the M1 machines, was like the load that the swap was putting on the SSD was substantial, and it was like lowering the lifespan of your SSD storage.
Yeah.
So that is a concern, but
so I can address that in two quick statements.
Sure.
Your battery life cycle is going to go way before your SSD cycle. It will.
Fair.
And two, at least in the case of you and I, we're not going to have this machine for longer than 3 years.
That's true. No, it's true, because we often do upgrades. So
yeah,
but it's an understatement for you.
But seriously, your battery cycles will long be due before your SSD cycles.
Yeah, for sure. But like, you're pretty happy with this laptop, though.
Extremely happy with it.
That's good.
Like, couldn't it be happier, baby? Couldn't it be happier?
Cool. All right, so we'll see what you got in 2 weeks, dude.
Oh, bro.
I'm just kidding. So I want to talk about another thing. You know, you've been messaging me quite a bit in the past couple weeks about the Studio Display. This is Apple's new display.
In case you couldn't take my hints, I kind of want one.
You know, it's wild because I don't think the Studio Display is worth it. I mean, I
think
don't get me
is.
wrong.
I think it is.
6K is nice.
I think it is. It's 5K.
Oh, okay. 5K is nice. It's still more than 4, but still. Like, why is it worth it? It doesn't hit like.
Where should I start with this?
Listen, what if you need to change a power cord out, dude? You know what I'm saying?
What if the last time you had to change a power cord?
What if a dog gets hungry, needs to chew it?
My dog is trained to not eat power cords.
I don't know, man. All right, I'm just saying, like, what if you roll a chair over it?
Hear me out on this.
Right.
So 5 years ago, LG Display. Shout out Vincent Tio, LG Display. um, graced us with the LG Ultrafine 5K
Okay,
for
yeah.
$12.99
Okay,
5 years ago.
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Seems like an old monitor.
It is an old monitor. $12.99.
Yeah. Okay.
No one batted an eye.
Right.
Now we have the Apple Studio Display, which is a much better panel with better backlight uniformity, insanely better build quality, built-in speakers, insane microphones. Webcam, it has some issues, but Apple claims they can fix it. Insane build quality. Gotta say it again. It's 100 nits brighter, which, if anyone knows, nits operate on a logarithmic scale. So when you're under 1,000, 100 nits is a big deal, right?
Right.
And that 100 nits is actually enough for Apple to do their EDR, or their extended dynamic range stuff.
Yeah.
So it actually looks really good. I haven't seen it in person, but like if you see a YouTube video that puts it next to the Ultrafine and then the Apple Studio Display next to it, the Studio Display looks like it's on a different level compared to that. You also get that really nice glossy Apple glass front, so you're super contrasty. You know, like matte displays kind of ruin contrast. You know that. And
yeah, keep going, dude.
yeah. So
let me say this, dude.
So hold on.
All right,
hold
go
on.
ahead.
Hold on. I'm not done yet.
I'll give it to
You
you.
also get the A13 in it, which is basically an iPhone 11 built inside of this. So it does your EDR processing, it does your microphone noise canceling, it does your Dolby Atmos for the speakers that are built in. It's also your Thunderbolt controller on the back, so it doesn't eat up Thunderbolt bandwidth from your laptop. And you're getting all of these benefits for literally what, $300 more than the plastic LG Ultrafine display from 5 years ago. That's worse in every way.
Right.
Like, I get it. You know, it's a lot of money.
It's not about money. In this case, in my opinion,
for what you're getting over the LG Ultrafine, I think it.
Can I say something?
Sure.
So, like,
absolutely.
I think that if you compare this display to the against the LG Ultrafine, I think it's a no-brainer, right? Like, it's like, think about it. Like, you're getting so much more, and like, to me, the build quality alone is worth that money. Like,
and just the aesthetic, dude. It just looks good, right? It just looks nice. Yeah.
And like, I'm game for that, dude. Like, I'm 100% game for that. Like, I love the aesthetic, dude. Apple make that. Like, come on, dude. Everything's plastic in monitor territory, not Apple. So
did you see did you see that video? I forgot who it was. Was it Unbox Therapy or maybe it was Max Tech, where they put the LG Ultrafine and the Studio Display on a table and they shook the table and the LG Ultrafine looked like it was going to snap off.
That's funny, but
and the Studio Display was just like glued to the table.
Yeah, I believe it. It's the difference. The build quality, it's the difference. So I'll give it to the Apple product in that regard. I think for me, I need more than that out of a display. It's not about money, right? It's about what I get. Like, the only benefit is really, to me, like, obviously 600 nits, it's not HDR to me.
Well,
you know, like,
you know what this display is perfect for? Photo editing.
Yes. I think it's a photo editor's dream display, right? Like, it's really good. It's going to have great color accuracy, pixel uniformity. It's going to have like amazing, like 5K is going to be super sharp.
That's one thing that like a lot of the panel reviewers out there I see have been saying is that. Yeah. So I'm glad you brought that up. Is that the quality control for panel uniformity on the Studio Display is insane.
Yes. So I'll give it to them. Like, it's honestly a really interesting package. Like, I've seen a lot of reviewers go, look, it's honestly the only display that does what it does. Regardless of what you think about like the individual specs or the price, it's literally the only option if you want these things. And like, I totally get that.
You sound like Marquez, dude.
Yeah, that maybe he's the one that said that. He's probably the one that said that.
He did.
And like, I agree with him. He's 100% right.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just like, that's just what you get out of this display. But like, for me, I know personally, if I was in the market for a display, which, you know, I'm not really, but like, if I was,
I mean, we always are, aren't we?
Well, yeah, because we're always looking out for the next big thing. But like, I need something. Here's what makes those displays not compatible with me is I need to be able to use them with my Windows shit too. That's my problem. So like I might be able to get it to work with a Windows, machine. I don't know. The Pro Display XDR you can, but like it isn't as good. It's seamless. Maybe now it's changed. Maybe now it's changed. Maybe you can get the HDR experience out of like the panel on Windows now. I don't know, because like that was early days when people were reviewing them out of the box. Things change, dude. Software changes. People figure out weird hacks to make things work. It could work well. Like I'm just saying that between the two, the Studio Display and the Pro Display XDR, I personally would probably just get the Pro Display XDR, dude. Well, for multiple reasons.
Listen, man.
Despite the cost.
I was gonna say, no one is sitting here, and if they had to take a box home, they wouldn't grab the Pro Display XDR.
It's about money, right?
Right. It's about value. I think for me, it's about value. So if I look at the monitors out now, okay, and you look at what panels are available on the market,
yeah, okay,
for that price point, I don't think it's as egregious as people are saying it is.
Which display? The Studio?
The Studio Display.
I agree. Because, well, I mean, how many other 5K displays are there? There's like
one.
Yeah.
And this one is clearly better in every category you would want a display to be better in.
That's my point. So you're really not going to be able to get like anything competing to that.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Pro Display XDR on Windows is now native 6K, 10-bit RGB, and Windows detects it as 1600 nits peak brightness.
Fantastic. So I mean, it's perfect. Perfect, dude. So like, let me say that for like I would, but see, here's the big. I'm looking at it right now, dude. The problem is the cost.
The problem, dude, is that it would look so good on your desk. Everything else would need to be replaced to match the beauty.
You need to dual monitor it. Oh,
dude, it looks so good.
So I'm looking at it right now, dude. I mean, $51.98 is what I would have to pay.
Can I tell you? Can I tell you, bud?
Yeah.
That here's the problem that I have with the Pro Display XDR. Two things. One is every time I wasn't using it, I would want to turn it around just to look at the back.
I know, dude.
Dude.
You know how like some of those offices where they got the desks like so they like you face inward into the room?
Dude,
that's where you'd want it.
Back, dude.
Yeah,
oh.
That's what you'd want. Yeah. So you walk up to your desk and the first thing you see is cheese grater, dude. Beauty, because that's what it is.
Dude, they know. They know what they're doing.
Dude, that's pure sex appeal, dude. That's the most sex appeal in a monitor I've ever seen.
Ever.
It's
dude,
literally unreal.
I need it, dude. So
it's a $5,000 display though.
I would get the Pro stand.
Okay, you're talking about with the Studio or with
oh
my god, with the Pro Display. So you'd pay an extra $1,000 for that.
You know why? Because I want that auto rotate flex, dude.
Oh my god, dude!
I want that auto rotate flex, dude.
You'd be like, hey, you want to see $1,000?
Yeah, dude. I want that auto rotate flex, dude, for Reddit, dude.
Oh my god, dude.
That flex, dude.
Dude, you post that on the Battle Station sub, they'd be like, bro, does this motherfucker have the Pro stand?
Dude, I know. They wouldn't care about the monitor, dude.
No.
Dude, that boy get the stand,
yeah.
dude? That honestly, dude paying $83.25 a month for 12 months, dude.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Yeah, that'd be $6,000. $6,000 for that package. But I'll tell you what, man. It's like you're already spending $5,000, dude. Might as well spend.
Yeah, might as well put the stand in, baby. Might as well put the stand in.
Yo, if you use the Apple Card, dude, don't you get cash back, dude? Like,
oh my god, did you get 5% cash back?
Oh my god, dude. What's 5%?
Oh
5%, dude? Are you serious? Oh my gosh. So
dude, that's practically a steal at that point.
It's a steal.
That's it, dude.
What's 5%? Like off of 5,000? That's like 5% is 6,000.
Yeah, dude. There you go.
Jesus Christ. It's wild. So I mean, here's the thing, man. The Pro Display XDR, I could seriously buy it.
$300.
As crazy as it is, I'd get the VESA adapter. I wouldn't get the stand.
No, I'd get the stand. Dude, stand flex. Dude, every photo I took would be a macro shot at the base of that stand and just let you know.
Okay. I would think about that. I would think about the Pro stand.
You have a Pro Display XDR on the damn Amazon Basics monitor arm, dude. You know, jank that would look from the back, dude.
Oh, no, you're right, dude. All right, sex appeal wise. Aesthetic wise, dude. Technostatic, dude. The podcast. All right.
You need the stand, dude.
So look, here's the thing, okay? If you're a photo editor, right? like honestly, like you don't need the Pro Display XDR. It's really, really, really cool because
So
it's
cool.
6K, 32 inch. You already know that I already think 5K at 27 inches isn't right. I think 30 inches are bigger. I think 32 inches it should have been, but I digress.
And
Guess
the
what
problem
is?
with it being 32 inches is it breaks their PPI rule.
Ah, damn it. Still,
We've gone over this.
I know what you're. Yeah. We've gone over this, so I get it.
It has to be Retina, or
it has to
Apple
be,
doesn't
yeah.
make it.
That's wild, but
If
I
you
get
see
it.
pixels, dude, there's no Apple on it.
I get it. That's fair. So with that being said, I think that the Pro Display XDR would be my play. It's expensive, but like, dude, I would like justify the fuck out of it, dude. I'm gonna be like, oh, bro, I'm gonna keep this for like how many years, dude? I'm gonna milk this shit. Like, I would so like justify the shit out of it.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I
don't
don't
blame
game
you, dude.
anymore, dude. I just look at this display.
I don't game, dude. I just look at at HDR content.
You know
For
what?
fun.
Honestly, dude, think about gaming on this thing because, like, I know you're
Dude,
at 60
I was gonna say, like,
hertz.
But if
like-
you were, all right, man, hear me out, okay?
You don't
Hear me
need
out.
higher than 60 hertz at 6K. You're not
I
going to
was
be able to
gonna-
get those frames anyway.
I was gonna say, dude, hear
You're not
me
going to
out.
get those frames anyway, dude.
One, great point. Great point. Number two, would you even want to play with other people when you're that immersed?
No, dude. No.
Single player experience.
They'd ruin the immersion.
When you're that immersed, dude, do you want like? do
Dude,
you
think
want-
about how small Factorio will be on a 6K display. It's already bad on 4K.
Jeez.
And I freaking, everything's so tiny on 4K. It's gonna be like
Dude, I need that auto rotate flex, dude.
Oh man, I get it, dude. So, okay, you know what? In your case, let's go back to reality for a minute. Okay, you aren't gonna get either of these, are you? Because you don't really need it. You don't really need it, man. You got you have a really great monitor, right? It's a TV, LG,
ABL.
right?
Give me the
Yeah, ABL, I get it,
Give me
but
the
it's still
feelies,
OLED. It's
dude.
still good. It's still the C1048. It's still God tier, right? It has ABL. I hate it too, right? That's the biggest drawback to the display out of everything. But like, it's honestly got a lot of stuff that you can't get out of the Apple display. So it's a trade-off no matter where you go.
What's it get me, dude? G-Sync compatibility?
Quit sending me Pro Display XDR images,
Dude,
dude.
look at the stand.
I know it looks good. You don't gotta
It
tell
looks
me.
like it's floating, dude, doesn't it?
Stop.
Looks like it's floating,
Stop.
dude.
You don't have to sell it to me. I already know. If I was gonna get one of the displays, if I would be willing to give up this display, the Pro Display XDR would be an option for sure.
Let me ask
But
you a
like,
question.
I kind of need high refresh. I kind of need like,
For what, dude? You play
G-Sync.
Room Factory.
yeah, but I still, well, fair. But like, here's the, you're right, fair. But I do play some games, right? Like I do play shooters. I do play like the occasional AAA game. And I'm not saying it won't look great on the Pro Display XDR.
Dude,
I
could you imagine
honestly-
playing Cyberpunk at 1600 nits?
God, don't even tell me, dude.
Dude,
Honestly,
could you
it would
imagine
be
seeing Night City with those neon lights, dude? Could you imagine that? That's probably a better experience than this OLED.
honestly, you're probably right.
That'd be so cool.
It's gonna
dude.
be so good. Honestly, yeah. Fuck variable refresh rate.
Dude,
fuck
that's gonna look so
everything
good, dude.
else,
Yeah.
dude. I don't give a shit, dude. I want 1600 nits of this inky shit in
Dude,
my
it's
eyes.
gonna look so good.
Yeah, it's gonna be so good for sure.
Like Night City did with those like
6K,
neon lights everywhere
Yeah.
in 6K, 1600
Yeah.
nits, dude.
Yeah. If I want the screen to be bigger, I'll just move the display closer to my face.
There you go, dude.
Who cares about a 48-inch
Zoom in,
monitor?
dude.
I gotta go like this. I gotta
Dude,
go
you won't see
back.
the pixels anyway. This Pro Display XDR is more than double the pixel density of the OLED.
Yeah. And it's
Double.
gonna need
More
more
than
than
double.
double the GPU grunt. You can do a 3090 on it, but like,
It'd be crying,
yeah,
dude.
it would be crying. You're gonna need some motherfucking DLSS.
Please, dude.
Yeah, you're gonna need that. You're gonna DLSS that shit hard. I don't know, man. So I still think you should wait. I think what's going to happen is like, obviously right now today, Pro Display XDR is like, it's kind of a one of a kind magical display,
Yeah.
but I don't know, man. Like maybe they'll come out with a 2.0. Do you think here's the problem. They never refresh their displays. You know,
No.
They never refresh them. It takes them forever. I mean, but it's really, you know, they're kind of newer to the display game in this.
I think the
aspect.
problem is that like the XDR competes with like things that are way
like real studio displays, not their studio display, but like you're talking about like color accurate, like color grading displays, like that are in actual studios, like you know, like Dolby Vision mastering level displays, like. But like I get it, so that's what's interesting is like it's actually for the price it can do a lot compared to those displays, which you know are like tens of thousands of dollars at times.
Sure.
So like it's even though it's $5K, it's actually $5K of value if you consider the capabilities of the display. And it's just sexy, dude. You see that cheese grater?
Dude, I said, dude, I just want to look at the back of it.
I know.
That's what I want to see what the display is on the front, dude. I just want to look at the back.
Yeah, there's no way I wouldn't like move my desk around so I could look at that back more often.
Yeah,
dude.
dude, like I might put my desk like you know my room is set up, but like behind the couch.
Yeah.
So like every time I came down, I would just see the cheese grater.
Yeah, I would have to. It's just so yeah. I'd have to have like the most aesthetic desk possible. I'd have to like cable hide everything. It would be like beautiful. I'd have to have like no cables at all. Like I'd have to go wireless mouse, wireless keyboard at that point for sure.
Yeah, dude.
And there's a lot of great wireless keyboard choices out now, even mechanical. There's like you could, but like I, you know, if I was in the Apple camp, I might even stick with that Wedge Boy, you know, because that thing's kind of nice looking.
The trackpad or the keyboard?
Both.
Oh yeah.
I'd probably rock both.
There's a lot of people who like rag on the Apple keyboard, and like I obviously have like an $800 keyboard. That's my keyboard that came through.
Yeah, I heard it.
That's how heavy my keyboard is. But. And like the typing experience is euphoric. Like, don't get me wrong, you know. But like, if you held the gun to my head and said, "I need you to take a typing test and be as accurate as possible and as fast as possible," I would probably use the Mac keyboard.
Wow, that's
you know
interesting,
what I mean? Like,
man.
Yeah,
yeah. I did a lot of typing today on mine, and like I found that I was like actually pretty accurate on it.
Yeah, like shockingly. Like I think that like the tactile feel of like this mechanical keyboard I have is great for gaming. You know what I mean? Like it's persistent, it's deliberate.
Right.
It's deliberate. But I think for just like speed and accuracy, I think the Magic Keyboard is hard to beat. I really do.
I'm not sure, man. Like I think there's something sort of ergonomic about like the traditional keyboard for me. I think it's just over the years I'm so used to using like actual like Cherry MX key shape. Sure. You know, like I'm so used to it.
Yeah.
That I can be very.
I actually. If I were to type out a script, I would type it out on the MacBook over my mechanical keyboards.
You know, I'm not paying attention to that specifically because I've been writing a script myself, and I've been doing it back.
You
and
have
forth.
or haven't?
I have.
Okay.
So yeah, this is kind of off topic, but like I'm making a visual novel, and in the process, there's been a lot of writing, and I've been doing it. I spent like literally probably like 6 hours. Like at my desk here writing shit.
Sure.
Both code and like actual script. So like it was great.
What program are you using?
So to make the visual novel, there's a program called RenPy, RenPy. So it's Python-based visual novel making tool. And I'm pretty sure, I think it's open source, man. I could be wrong.
It is free and open source.
So it's wonderful. I did a lot of research on like the best platforms to make, because one of the things that I've been kind of interested in is making my own, because it's like very simple, right? Like think about how easy a visual novel is to make. You just got images, you got fucking text. Yeah, that's about it. And then like the RenPy takes care of everything you need to know, like save game, like it has like the framework built in.
Yeah, that's neat.
So I'm like, I'm just gonna like write my own fucking visual novel and then fucking sell it, dude. Let's go.
Bang it.
Yeah, because Amanda and I were like joking. We were like, oh, dude, let's make a visual novel about like fucking, you know, aliens and shit coming in. She's well, that's kind of like a lot of them, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But there's probably gonna be, they call those H scenes. So there's probably gonna be all that shit, but we'll see. You know, a little bit of tentacle.
Let me ask you a question, because I can't draw for shit. Where do you get your art assets from?
So right now I'm using placeholder assets that I've gotten across the internet. There's various websites that like people just like willingly like, here's a bunch of shit that I made, use it. You know, this is just like, if you're gonna use my stuff, make sure you
Credit me.
credit me, but like you can just use it. So I was
That's
like,
really
dang.
cool.
So like I have this massive like amount of art assets that I'm using, and what the intent is to use those for building.
for research, right?
No. I'm using them as placeholder images, right? And then I'll go back and circle back and do my own stuff later. So I'll probably, I've done a lot of research in how to make like the backdrops, for example. Like there's this really cool workflow I saw where they 3D model it and render it. And then to give it that hand-drawn aesthetic, they take the render
really cool.
and then they draw over it like digitally.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that looks great. Like it can really look cool. And like, honestly, that takes a lot of the like measuring out of it. That takes a lot of the calculations on like, how things look based on perspective and the lighting and stuff. You can kind of pre-bake that in Blender, and then you just go and draw over it to get that kind of anime look. And I think that's awesome. So I was like, I'll do that. And
that might be a good use case for an iPad for you.
No, absolutely. So I would absolutely use like Procreate or something to be able to do that.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've just been kind of doing that. So really,
that's cool, man.
It's been kind of a fun thing I've done the past 2 days, and I have my like project that I'm working on synced up with Synology Drive or whatever. So I'm working on it here, and they got a RenPy client on the Mac. So I was literally,
oh, do they really? Oh yeah, they do. Look at that.
And it's really cool.
RenPy client on iOS 11 plus.
They do. It's
and WebAssembly. Look at that, dude.
It's cool. You can compile.
Windows Vista, dude.
The cool thing is
no other operating system with Windows Vista.
Nope, that's it.
We support Vista. No one else.
Oh my god!
Long live Games for Windows Live.
Yeah. Oh my god, we don't talk about that, dude. But yeah, it's cool. You can compile your games for all kinds of different platforms too. So it lets you compile the games for like iOS, Android, for the web. For like Steam. They have it so you can compile straight for Steam distribution. So I'm like,
that's cool, dude.
That's exactly what I want to do, dude. Bam. So I'm trying to get good at writing right now. And obviously I'm no author. I'm no like...
What text editor are you using?
Well, RenPy for the programming, it uses Atom. So...
Atom.io?
I don't know what the hell...
It's like a rocket ship?
Yeah. It's
I
like
use Atom for everything.
Do you?
I use Atom for every code I write. Yep.
Wow.
For work and personal, I love Atom.
So I will say this is my first time using Atom, and I
told you about Atom years ago.
You probably did, but like it's one of those things that like I just never really picked up on.
Yeah.
Because like I already had a text editor. Like I had used Notepad++ for everything, right?
No, it's Atom is so pretty compared to Notepad++.
Yeah, I agree. And like for coding, like it's just like perfect.
Oh yeah, it's gorgeous, dude. I assume you downloaded like all the packages for like different.
Well, the cool thing is, RenPy will download Atom and download the associated kind of like plugins.
Oh, cool.
So Atom will recognize the specific Python that RenPy uses, like the specific commands and things. Like it'll automatically like color code everything, which is really awesome. So like I really like Atom. It's pretty.
I love Atom, dude.
So
I use
nice.
it for everything. I use Atom at work for jQuery. I use it for CSS.
Yeah.
I use it for HTML5. It's gorgeous. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, man. I'll let you play it when I'm done, but like you don't really got to play it, dude. You know what I mean? Like I don't really think you're not the target audience for this.
One hand on the keyboard.
Yeah,
dude.
yeah. It's a one-hand game, but like, so I don't know, but it's been kind of fun to play with, dude. But
cool.
Ultimately, circle back to the topic. I'll let you know what my feedback is on the MacBook keyboard, because I did a lot of typing today, and like I was able to go back and forth. Like I was doing, like I said, 6 hours yesterday here on a normal mechanical boy, and then I spent like however many hours today on the MacBook and just pounding it out. So it's been good, man. But anyway, that's about. We're going like all over on the topic department.
Dude, we are like an alleyway on the Game Boy, dude, just bouncing off the walls.
Shoot, and speaking of bouncing, dude, we really ought to bounce. Like we really don't have much to talk about left.
Yeah.
So I mean, do you have any last minute kind of things like? Steam Deck Q2 is about to start.
Yeah,
which is exciting because hopefully we'll start like seeing our stuff, our Steam Decks. Because it's coming soon, dude.
It is coming soon, dude.
Q2.
Like a motion picture, coming soon.
That's the last thing I want to talk about, really. But
I don't really have much, I think that's.
I think that's
about
good,
it.
dude. Let's wrap it
Yeah.
then. Let's wrap
Wrap
it
it
up,
up, dude.
Put a
Wrap
little
it
bow
up.
on it.
Wrap it up.
Anyway, thanks for listening and watching the Technesthetic Podcast. It's a podcast. We do tech talking, and we do it every 2 weeks now, right?
Yeah, I think we moved to a 2-week cycle.
2
Kind of gives us
weeks.
some more content, more meaningful content.
More meaningful, juicy content every 2 weeks. Stay tuned to the Technesthetic Podcast. Go to technesthetic.com and check us out there. That's where we're at, and we'll see you guys in the next podcast.
Later.